What is up, Packer fans? Back again. Here we are, week 14. We're getting down to the end of the season. The Packers have to go to Detroit to face off against the 11-1 Detroit Lions. This Detroit team just got away with a close one against the Bears in a game that got the Bears head coach fired. But the Packers now needing revenge again this year after losing to them at home earlier in the season. They lost to them at home earlier in the season last year and then beat them in Detroit on Thanksgiving actually last year. And then this year, a week later, we face them off in week 14. And the Packers looking good, looking hot right now. The Packers offense playing really well. The Packers defense playing really well. Jordan Love, no interceptions, no turnovers in the last 2 games. Josh Jacobs running really hard. Hopefully we'll get Romeo Doubs back for this game. Dontavian Wicks played better last week. Christian Watson continues to excel. He had that big drop, but then he had that big catch last week against the Dolphins in a very cold game. So this Packers offense starting to click. Tucker Kraft, I just love watching Tucker Kraft play football. This guy is a beast. Yak and Cheese. I got my kid and my girlfriend calling him Yak and Cheese. So it's so funny to listen to them run around and say Yak and Cheese. So go Pack, go. Go Tucker Kraft, fan favorite definitely. The Packers continue to excel in this area and continue to be able to gain yards after the catch, take short, small, intermediate passes from Jordan Love and really do something with them. Josh Jacobs, that juke he had, I could watch that from every different angle over and over again, like they showed us live at the game. But for the Packers, it's what a performance on offense, and then now they have to continue this momentum against a tough Detroit defense and a tough Detroit offense for the defensive side of the ball for the Packers. So Packers on defense, they didn't have any turnovers, really no interceptions against Tua last week, but against Goff, he's going to throw you some. You're going to have to make the most of your opportunities. Hopefully we can get some pressure on the toughest offensive line in football. This offensive line starts with, Taylor Decker, and they have Penei Sewell on the other side. Probably one of the best right tackles in football, highest paid for sure. Kevin Zeitler, Wisconsin favorite. And Frank Ragnow, another guy, and then they have Graham Glasgow. So what a tough offensive line this Packers defense is going to have to face. But Kenny Clark getting in the mix last week. We saw Rashawn Gary getting in there. Lucas Van Ness getting another sack. We saw Nagbari. He's really coming around. And then Brenton Cox got another sack as well. So I like what these young guys are starting to do. After they traded Preston Smith, we were kind of wondering. Rashawn Gary hadn't really been playing up to his part. And now, Devontae White in the middle. We saw what Carl Brooks did against the Bears blocking that kick. So a lot of these guys started to make plays. We'll hopefully get Edgerrin Cooper back this week, the middle linebacker. Quay Walker playing some of his best ball we've seen him play. He's just starting to understand the defense. He's starting to play fast. He's not thinking as much. He's just flying around and making plays. I love for that for him because I really liked him coming out. I think he's really a great player, and I think he can be good for a long time for the Packers. So this defense starting to come around a little bit. And then Jaire Alexander, hopefully we get him back. I don't know what's going on with him. He's the type of guy that doesn't want to play the least bit injured because he doesn't want to get shown up out there because he doesn't want to have any excuses for why he had plays against them. So we'll see. Hopefully there's no other issues for Jaire. Hopefully he is going to be able to come back and play. Otherwise, though, Carrington Valentine's been playing great. Eric Stokes has been playing really well. I like to see his tenacity in the run game. He really comes up and makes plays, stopping the run. And then, Javon Bullard and then Evan Williams. And then obviously X, being the veteran in the back, holding it down for everybody back there. So I really like what this defense is starting to do. It's starting to click a little bit. Keyshawn Nixon, it's starting to get cold. The ball's not flying as far. He had a nice return. He's opening things up. And then on the other side of things, the Dolphins, we saw a drop one. So obviously we'll be inside against the Lions this week. And then we'll have to face off against Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, this two-headed running back monster. Gibbs is kind of the lightning bolt, and then Montgomery is kind of the thunder, and both of them do things well, and they both can catch the ball out of the backfield. Both can run the ball inside and outside, and both are just guys, workhorses that the Lions can lean on. So Packers need to be able to stop the run. They did a good job against the Dolphins, but they have to continue to stop the run. And then obviously Jared Goff, to me, he's just not a guy that you have to be really threatened with his legs. So keep him in the pocket and force him to make errant throws. I think we can get after him, force him into some bad throws, and maybe get a turnover, a few. But same thing goes on the other side. I know the Lions don't have Aiden Hutchinson. He's out for the season, but they do have other guys on that defense. In the middle, McNeil is a big guy. They traded and got Zadarius Smith, a guy that Packer fans know very well. Obviously, he played for Green Bay for a few years. And then Jack Campbell in the middle. And then in the back end, Brian Branch is a guy that can make plays. And then Kirby Joseph is tied with X for the league lead in interceptions with 7, I believe. So I don't think Kirby got one last week against Caleb. I don't believe so. So they are tied at 7. And so for this game, it's going to come down to which guy gets a pick pretty much, I think. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to if X gets an interception or if Kirby gets an interception. Hopefully Jordan Love keeps it clean again, continues to make big plays. This running game for the Packers offense is really starting to click. I know we didn't have a lot of yards on the ground, but we got Emmanuel Wilson going pretty good, and we got Chris Brooks going pretty good, and the running backs are just fluid, and the offensive line is starting to click. And so this running game is starting to really open things up. And then in the pass game, just Jordan Love can make all the throws, and these receivers are starting to step up and make plays. That catch by Watson last week was really great. So Packers going into Detroit. They did this last year. They beat them after they lost at home. So hopefully they can go into Detroit. I know Detroit's 11-1. The Packers are 9-3, and the Vikings are 9-2, who face off against the Cardinals. They do play at home though in Minnesota. So we have to keep pace with the Vikings so we can keep pace with the Lions. And if we beat the Lions, now we're definitely in position to win the division. The Lions are just a few game streak away from being from first in the division to third in the division. So this division is so tight, toughest division in football, the NFC North. And for the Packers, if they can beat the Lions this week on Thursday Night Football, I know it's kind of a weird turnaround for Green Bay because usually on a Thursday night you get that little mini bye. This time we have another short week. Well, not short week, but it's a full week, but it's a Thursday night game. So then after the Detroit game, now we'll have our 10-day break, which is our mini bye. So for Green Bay, kind of comes at a great time too, this little mini bye. I know Detroit kind of gets one also, but for the Packers, it's a time to get other guys healthy. I know, like I said, Cooper and Jair and Dobbs are all kind of out with injury. So, and then I know Ed Williams was shaken up, and some other guys were shaken up a little bit, but there's a lot of guys that are going to be able to get healthy after this game. Hopefully we come out of it clean. Hopefully we come out of it with a win. The Packers are going to be looking to run the ball a lot with Josh Jacobs, I think. Hopefully open things up, open up the play action fake, and then just stop this Lions offense from making big plays. They kind of got on top of us early. We saw Amon-Ra do a headstand in the end zone at Lambeau. Not ideal, so we have to kind of return the favor. I think without Aiden Hutchinson, I hate to say, without a guy, Packers, have a better chance, but no matter what, Aiden Hutchinson is a big playmaker for that defense. It kind of slows things down in their pass rush. Will open things up a little bit more for Green Bay and the offense. And then I think, just the way that Jordan Love has been playing, the fact that he's not injured, he's not playing hurt, he's playing a lot more fluid. You can tell that his mobility has improved a lot. I think this Green Bay team can get on top of the Lions, force them to kind of be, a little more reckless than they have been. They only beat the Bears 23-20, and it's only because the Bears are dumb and the coach didn't call timeout and they weren't able to kick a field goal. And so for Green Bay, I think it's a time where they can get on top of the Lions. The Lions have been playing well, but they're due for some mistakes, and I think Green Bay right now, I know Jahmyr Gibbs released all the plays for the game. I don't know if that was a planned move to kind of trick Green Bay or if that was really just a boneheaded mistake by one of their star players. So for Green Bay, either way, handle business. Hopefully we can get some more action out of the kick return game. I like what I see out of this defense. There's pressure, not every play, but we are getting home. We are kind of, stopping the run in these kind of run blitzes and some of these other blitzes. These linebackers are flying around, the middle linebackers, and then, like our edge guys. So I really like what's going on. Hafley is great as a defensive coordinator. He's been great. And I think this game is really going to kind of be either the catalyst that propels us into the playoffs or a game where we have to kind of step back and see, okay, we're not ready. We can't beat these guys. We got to figure out what we have to do to beat these guys. I think the Packers can, though. I think they will. I think Jordan Love's going to light it up. I think with Romeo Doubs back, this offense is going to look great. They're going to be inside. And remember, this is a place where players do get injured because they're on the concrete on the AstroTurf. So really have to be careful with how they move, how they do things. This is where Rashawn Gary got hurt a few years ago, so I know he's going to want to come back here again and make the most of his opportunities and kind of have another bounce back game. He did it last year. Hopefully he does it again this year. And for the rest of the team, defense just has to keep playing well. Don't let the Lions get on top of you too early. They do have a lot of playmakers. Obviously, Tim Patrick, Jameson Williams is super fast. We can't let him get behind us. Hopefully, put Eric Stokes on him, let him kind of deal with that speed. And then Keyshawn can cover Amon-Ra. And then, if Jair's back, then we can just put him on whoever. But for the Packers, it's going to come down to kind of stopping some of the things that the Lions do up front, getting pressure. If the Packers can get pressure on Goff, make it a long day for him. Things can be interesting at the end. I think the Packers will be close either way. I think the Lions are a tough team, obviously, probably the best team in the league. The Chiefs, they just keep squirting by with weird victories and weird things happening. I know the Lions kind of had the same thing happen, but that Raider Chief game was almost as baffling as the Bear Lion game. So for the Packers, big game for them. Jump them up to 10 wins, 10-3. LaFleur, got to give him a little clap because he's been a great coach. Without Aaron Rodgers last year, everybody kind of was wondering what was going to happen. His record was so great, and now almost 2 years in with Jordan Love, he's continuing that success. The wins just keep stacking up, and he's actually second now all time by himself, 61 wins, I believe, in his first I think it's first 6 seasons as a coach. George Seifert has like 75 with the 49ers back in the 80s. So a number that he won't get to this year, but he will be second all time. Matt LaFleur, congratulations to him. So for the Packers, another big game, division rivals. After this, we have the Seahawks in Seattle, I believe, and then we have the Saints, and then we have the Vikings and the Bears also again. So big game, another division matchup. We lost to these guys at home. We lost to the Vikings at home at Lambeau. So time to get revenge against these guys, and obviously a team that's looking to win the division this year again and looking to be a team that goes far into the playoffs after they got knocked out by the 49ers last year as well. So the Packers, let's go. Go Pack, go. I'm so stoked for this game. Thursday Night Football again, and prime time, like another 3 games in a row, I think, for the Packers. So definitely have their work cut out for them, but they'll get a little bit of rest after this week. Go in, handle business. They won 2 games in 5 days just now. Now they have another game, so there's like 3 games in whatever that is, 12 days. So go Pack, go. Jordan Love, 4 touchdowns. I'm calling 4 touchdowns. We're going all out this week. And this defense is going to keep getting after it. Lucas Van Ness is going to continue to step up. Brendan Cox is a guy that I've been calling out and calling for since we got him undrafted out of Florida, Georgia. So this guy, I think, is going to continue to improve, and he's already got 2 sacks in basically the 2 games that he's kind of been able to play a little bit more. So keep watching for him, and then hopefully we get our guys back that are injured, and this offensive line can continue to play well, and just vote for the Pro Bowl. Don't forget to vote for the Pro Bowl, and go Pack, go. Beat these Lions. We got to get these Lions. So make it a long day for Jared Goff. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching again. Go Pack, go.